Hello everybody, my name is Jennifer. Welcome back to my channel. I'm making a video that's going to discuss books. I'm going to be reading books from my favorite booktubers, 3 of them, so 1 each. And that's going to be Kayla from Booksandlala, Gabby from Gabbyreads, and Jessie from Jessie Mae. And I watch plenty of other booktubers, but these ones I chose because of the, oh cool! Just because these books were already kind of on my radar, and they were on their favorites list. So I wanted to go based off of, like, on their 2020 favorites list. I wanted to go based off of that. It didn't have to be their favorite. Didn't even have to be top 5, but just in there. So the first one I'm reading, I just started yesterday, and 50 pages in. It's really good. And it's from Kayla from Booksandlala. It's called Alatsaway. And this one is really interesting so far. I didn't really know what it was about. I kind of wanted to go in blindly, and so now it's like really good. It's like, oh, what a cool story. This one is really cool. It's about this girl who's around 17 years old, and she's Apache, and I don't know if she's mixed or anything. It doesn't really say. She just says she's Apache, and they live in Texas. And there's certain, like, powers that these people have, and it's kind of like modern day, I want to say. And she has a certain power where she can, like, she has her dog who died 5 years before still around. It's a ghost dog. And someone dies and came to her in a dream and said he was murdered, and said the name and where he lives and stuff. So it's kind of going from there. And one of her best friends, he has some sort of thing where he has this, like, light. It's like a floating, I forgot what the word they used, but it's like a floating light, and I don't know what he can do with it yet exactly, but he has that power. So I'm learning the powers, because I guess, and then, like, there's one person who's a vampire, but the vampires don't live forever. They only live till, like, 90s years old, so it makes no sense. And I guess there's a cure for it, and you have to pay. I don't know, it's freaking weird. But just the way the story goes and the way it's written is very beautiful, and then each chapter has an illustration. And I kind of wish I bought the physical book, because I have it on my Kindle, and it's still beautiful on the Kindle, but I feel like, oh, with all the illustrations, I should have just bought the physical book. But it's just so much cheaper buying it on Kindle. You save so much money. And so that's what I'm just started reading by Booksandlala. Then the next one I wanted to read was The Dream Daughter. And that one is Gabbyreads' pick, and this was like her number 6 on the list. Elastaway was number 2 on Kayla's list. Number 6 on Gabby's list is The Dream Daughter, and it just sounds really interesting about this lady who her daughter, I don't know if she's sick or she's dying, and she's able to, like, go to the future or go back in time. I can't remember, to try and, like, save something or fix something. I kind of already forgot exactly what it was about, but I'm really intrigued in what that story is going to be like. The last one is by Jessie, and I actually messaged her because I didn't know which one to read, The Sleeping Giants or Foundry Side, and she didn't have an order of what her favorites were on her video, and she messaged me back and said read Foundry Side because it's really good, and I have no idea what that's about, and it's probably another going in blindly type thing. But The Sleeping Giants was like a sci-fi. The Foundry Side is more of a fantasy, and I don't know if it's high fantasy or what kind of fantasy it's going to be. So I'm very, very interested in reading these, and thank you, Jessie, for messaging me. I'm really excited to do this video, and I'll keep you guys updated through this vlog. All right, see you like a few days later since I first started started the vlog. I'm talking a little low just because Claire is napping, or trying to nap. I don't know. She fell asleep for like 20 minutes and then woke up, and now she's going crazy. So I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I'm reading Elastaway. I am on chapter 16. It says I am 49%, almost halfway. And it's really good. It's so interesting. Like, it's getting somewhere. There's an investigation kind of going on. I don't even know how to explain. I guess I explained some of the stuff before. Like, somebody died in her family, the main character, and they go, they bury him just with the immediate family because it's part of their culture, in the Apache culture and stuff like that, to not let anybody know where they are buried, and to not disturb the dead, because things could happen, except they have their own like history with that. But there's also fantasy in this story just because of the things she can do and other people can do. Just like how her friend's aunt comes to help to be like a psychic to kind of try to figure out what's going on. And when she does her psychic thing, of what happened in that area, if she feels anger or pain, she can feel it as well. And then she talks in their voice about what happened. Like if somebody was screaming or like, don't hit me, don't kill me, or something like that. So it's like really interesting. And this one part that I'm reading right now, she did something. I wish I could tell you because I don't want to ruin it. And it brought up a bunch of creatures because she can bring animals back from the dead, but not like as a ghost. Not really as a thing, but she just did a whole bunch of shit. So we're gonna see. I can't wait to see what happens in this book. I'm halfway through, but I can see why Kayla likes this from Booksandlala. She likes like very interesting, weird books. Like I really want to read that bunny book that she likes because it's like a very, very strange book. This one, it's a young adult fantasy with like cool history about the Apache, because I need to read more like Native American type books, I feel like, or like to learn about their culture, because I think it's so interesting. And so it's cool to bring a lot of realism with that stuff, but as long as magical elements as well. So yeah, keep you guys updated. All right, I just finished filming my January wrap up. I finished A Lat's Away, and I gave it a 4, and I was expecting a little bit more, I think just because it was Kayla's second favorite book. And but I really did enjoy it. I read it pretty quickly. I really liked the whole world that was set up, all of the fantasy elements. I liked the Native American culture of her Apache relatives and their family traditions. And I loved how they added some fantasy to it and how creepy the town was in certain parts. It just had Stephen King vibes to me, where like, for instance, like all these people are staring at her and her friend in this town, and she'll just stare right back. And usually when you stare at somebody, they'll turn away, like you catch them staring at you. No, they'll just continue staring. It was freaking creepy. So it's like the town knows something, but it was a really fun mystery, and it just really made me think also because she, how I said she can bring back ghosts like animals and stuff, and how she had her dog. It just made me think about like, I wish that I could have a ghost companion, when my dogs pass, and I don't want them to pass. I feel like dogs should live forever, and I just want to like, they need to, why can't dogs live as long as we can? Oh my gosh, your face is so sparkly from makeup. She has a bunch of highlighter on. Mwah! Anyways, that was a good suggestion. So thank you, Kayla, for that book. I really enjoyed the just the whole atmosphere of it, and the culture, and the message. There's a kind of a message in there, and I wouldn't want to ruin any of the messages because I would want people to read it, and I definitely want to read more things that she's interested in, like Bunny, because she said that one's like weird as heck, and I really like her suggestions. I love her videos. You have the best videos, Kayla. And anyways, yeah, she's very, and she said in her latest video that she used to date like an Indian man, and I think that's why she's really into like the Native American culture, and she reads a lot of different types of books, like nonfiction and fiction elements. And so like reading that, it kind of got me interested in reading something like that again. So maybe I'll read that Only Good Indians book that she read, because that was, maybe it'll be a different type of culture in those Indians. So, oh yeah, tell everybody. Yeah. All right, keep you updated. Bye bye. Bye bye. Hey, I realized I forgot to update on my next book. I'm already 100 pages in, and I'm doing Gabby's, it was on her favorite video. It was her 6th pick. It is The Dream Daughter, and yeah, I'm 100 pages in, and it's, what a beautiful story it is so far. I hope it turns out good. For the character, at least. It's kind of an emotional story, and it makes you think what you would do in that position, and it's really cool. It's like where something is wrong with her daughter while she's pregnant, and they found out it has a heart defect, and it turns out that someone she knows is from the future, and he's been staying there for a really long time because he found love. And he, told her the truth that he's from the future. And he's like, there's medicine and technologies now that can help with her case. They can do fetal surgeries. And so he wanted to send her to the future. And so that's what's going on right now. And I don't think it's a spoiler. Summary of the book is her going into the future to try and help save her daughter. And doing whatever she can. And so it's really interesting so far, especially the year that she has to go to. And so a very entertaining book, and I hope it doesn't break me down emotionally. So thanks, Gabby, for the recommendation. Happy Valentine's Day! Yeah. Cheese girl. So here I am with another update. It's been a week since I finished the Dream Daughter, and I completely forgot. The weather's been crazy, and I had all these other things going on, and I forgot to update, didn't put makeup on and do hair or anything before, so I was like not motivated. So anyways, The Dream Daughter was a 5 out of 5. It was the best one so far this year, best book I've read so far this year. Such a great option, and that was Gabby's 6th favorite of last year, and I'm just like, damn, that's my favorite so far right now. And so definitely better than Elastaway, just a lats away. And yeah, so I've been, I'm supposed to be reading Foundryside, which is Jessie Mae's pick, but I joined a book club in my community with some women in the community and that I live in. And so now we're reading a book called The Lilac Girls, which is actually really good. I'm halfway through it. It's an historical fiction with 3 point of views of these different women during World War II. Highly enjoy it. So I'm reading that now. I don't know what I got myself into while I'm trying to do this video. So I'm going to finish that, and then I'll read Foundryside, and I'll keep you guys updated with that. But The Dream Daughter is highly recommended, especially if, you have a daughter, pregnant, you love time travel, character-driven stories. Be careful. Come here. Oh, Hoagie's right here. Hoagie wanted to join the party. Hi, Rogue. You wanted to join the party. Anyways, I will see you guys later whenever I read Foundryside, so bye. Hello, everybody. I haven't updated in a while because we had a Texas storm with electricity going in and out and no water for a week. Finally, the water came back on, and I still have been working on doing chores. So we've had lovely neighbors who let us shower, and my husband and also some other neighbors got us some groceries during this thing. So we had the necessities, and it makes you realize, like, wow, we needed power, and we needed water for a bunch of things. At least we had a bunch of water bottles for that. Anyways, now that we're gonna get caught up, my husband fixed the pipes. There was a cracked pipe from the freeze, and he's such a handyman, so he got that going. And so I told you that I was reading a book for the book club that I'm in now with my community, and I finished it, and I really liked it, and I can't wait to discuss it with them. Hi there. Yeah, that's you, maybe. Oh, don't show them your spit. You're yucky. You yucky, you grossy girl. You grossy. And I can't wait to discuss it with them. We're trying to go to a restaurant that's themed around here. At first it was going to be like a German restaurant, but then, after reading this about Nazis and stuff, it's kind of fucked up to go to a German restaurant, I feel like. So somebody found like a, what's it called? one of like the European kind of like Polish type of food. So we might go there. I am not quite sure where we're going, so can't wait to discuss that. Anyways, Daddy's at work, honey. Anyways, I've been reading Foundry Side. This is Jessie Mae's, one of her favorite books. And I actually messaged her. I don't remember if I said this already in the beginning of the video, but I messaged her and she said Foundry Side to read between when I said this or The Sleeping Giants, because I didn't know which one she liked better. And she said this one definitely. And I read 35 pages the first day that I read this, and holy crap, it was like a movie. You can visualize it. It's like an opening crazy scene in a movie, and I was like very surprised by it. When you read this book, it's like you're there. It's like you're watching a movie or you're in there with them, and that's what I love about when I read a book. 'Cause sometimes you don't feel connected, like you don't feel like you're in the world or in the situation going on. Oh, my boobs are just super showing. This was kind of a surprise for me. There are some elements in here because in every fantasy world, it's hard to understand stuff. Like within Foundry Side, there's a bunch of different cities within it. And then there's things outside of Foundry Side with cities, and it kind of gets confusing and with all these community names and then all with these different magical or different elements. And some of the things get confusing, but then it kind of comes together and starts making sense. So I feel like by the end of this book, I'll make sense of everything. It's kind of hard when you start reading like a new world where you're like, I don't know what this is. They try to explain it, but everything kind of meshes together and you're like, huh? So now I am in chapter 11, 140, page 148 now. And it's so much fun. It's about this girl who runs heists, where basically she's a thief and she runs heists for a certain businessman for jobs and for money and everything. And she's living in this community where she lives in a very like shitty apartment and barely can like eat anything. And she has this plate in her head that I guess has some sort of magic to it where she can like hear things. When she touches them, she knows what they're thinking and feeling. Like in the beginning, let's say she touched like a wheel with like these scroll thingies on it, written on it, and she understood where they've been and everything. So more please, I'll get you more. Yeah, let mommy finish the video and I'll get you more. Eventually that was just like the first part, because she ends up meeting with her other, with the guy who's her boss who gives her these jobs. And she ends up taking this really big one, and she doesn't realize how big until she actually has it. And now she has a bunch of people after her because she has this thing. And I don't want to spoil it because it's kind of like a surprise. Yeah, cool, honey, you got a flashlight. Yeah, it's kind of a surprise, and it kind of like, I wouldn't want to ruin anything further. I don't know how to express this. And, but there's so many people coming after her because she has this thing that she shouldn't have opened. But I feel like this kind of stuff was going to happen anyway. And it kind of just reminds me of like, I don't know, like when I was talking to my husband, I was asking about Uncharted because I've seen him play it a billion times. And it kind of reminded me of like Uncharted mixed with more like magical stuff mixed with, yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like really fun ride, and I'm wondering if they're gonna make this a movie because I'm having so much fun, and you don't know which characters to trust or not and everything, and then you think it's just gonna be the point of view of the girl Sansia. When they use a pronunciation in here, it sounds like it's supposed to be pronounced Sanchia, but it doesn't. I don't like that. When I read it, I have to write it as Sansia. So I have no idea exactly how it's spelled, but it's not her, just her, you know, side of the story. It's also this other man who was guarding the thing, but it turns out he's also like, in a way, like a prince, like a royal to a certain city, because his mom's like in charge of this big city, has royal blood in him. But anyways, it goes to his side of the story, and it's like really interesting, and it makes me think that maybe those two are gonna come together and fight everybody, but you never know what's gonna happen. So thank you, Jessie, for this pick. Like, this is probably already one of my favorite books read this year. She already like got me into reading The Poppy War, which was a 5 out of 5 for me, and that book was awesome. And so now this one is a whole different world and it's so much fun. I'll keep you updated when I can. Sorry, it's been a long time. This is taking like a whole month to do. So I'm wondering if I'll finish this like right at the end of February because I want to get this out before I do my end of the month wrap up. So hopefully I get to do that. So I'll keep you guys updated. All right, finally finished February 28th. I finally finished Foundry Side and it was awesome. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I'm so happy that I started reading fantasy again. I've had the best time reading. I just read Scythe at the end of the last year. I read The Poppy War and now I read Foundry Side and it's just like, oh my god, and I still have like Vicious to read and whatever other just stuff I want to read too. And I'm just, what a great world. And I'm trying to figure out of those 3 books that I just read for this video, I don't know, like, Lots Away was a 4 out of 5. And then the Dream Daughter and Foundry Side were 5 out of 5. So they're completely different books, both completely different books. So I don't know if I can choose which one's my favorite was. I guess as a like hard-hitting story, it'd be The Dream Daughter, but as like a fun fantasy heist story with like such a crazy world, that like it depends on how it affects you, I guess. And I just was happy, had so much fun reading Foundry Side, whereas The Dream Daughter, there was a lot of elements where you're just stressed out because you're imagining all the hard shit she's having to go through in that story, and then you're wondering like what you would have done in that story, and it's kind of affects you in a way of like depressing way, but I mean it comes out in a certain way. You'll see if you read it, or if you have read it, let me know. So both of those, just they're in their own thing. They're definitely probably gonna be one in my favorites list at the end of the year, but it's only February, so anything can change. And I usually do, well, I only did it last year. Last year I got all my 5-star books and then I put them in order of favorites. So since those 2 were both 5 stars, I'm going to, those are definitely going to be on my favorites list, but I don't know what order they're going to be depending on what's going on with the rest of the year. So anyways, I definitely appreciate everybody, Kayla from Booksandlala, Gabby from Gabbyreads, Jessie from Jessie Mae. Thank you for all your suggestions. I really appreciated reading all 3 of these books. Had a really great time reading them. Claire, you're just having the greatest time over there. So maybe I'll do this video eventually again, like with other booktubers that I love. So thank you again for watching. And please like and subscribe and let me know if you've read these or suggestions for what I should read next. Thanks. Bye.